the various parts of transformer, single phase transformer. From that we have discussed core. So the core, which is ferrite or steel material, there is a 4 to 5% of around 4 to 5% of steel, silica, which is added to the steel. Then it is formed like that. Finally, silicon steel here. So the winding, which is either in aluminum or copper. Uh, so the aluminum for preferred for distribution transfer. The copper for preferred. The copper is suitable for power transformer, and the bushings which are used to get that input and output powers. And the main tank will be there. The main tank is so in order to provide the, so in order to expand the expansion of oil level, so we use the main tank. The conservator means so to provide the so this main tank is the oil level is filled. The conservator tank is which is provided for expansion of oil here with the through the some pipes here, like cooling tubes which are cooling that uh, oil. And breather, in the breathers silica gel will be there. So within this there is the in silica gel, the general the silica gel color is like blue color. So when the moisture is addressed in the silica gel, the color of this silica gel has to be changes here. Then it is to be found like pink color. So then you can remove that silica gel and dry up, and you can again arrange this in breather here. Next, bulkers relay, which is used to protect the internal parts of the transformer here. Generally, the bulkers relay is a gas. So there is gas operated relay here. So next we are going to discuss EMF equation of transformer. Generally, as you know that the EMF equation of a transformer is just wait. Okay. Okay, here generally the EMF equation of a transformer here, there is E equal to 4.44 F I N. So here there is F is the supply frequency, Phi is the maximum value of flux, N is the number of turns. Suppose with respect to primary, that is what about here N1. So similarly for secondary side, that is we have this is the self-induced, this is the mutual induced EMF here. So that E2 that is equal to 4.44 F by with respect to secondary. So these are the two induced EMFs. So already we have discussed what is meant by self-induced EMF and mutually induced EMF. There is a self-induced EMF is already we have discussed, that is equal to minus N1 by d pi by dt. Otherwise the d pi by di like that. So there is a mutual, there is the mutual induced EMF. The self is nothing but E1, the mutual is nothing but E2. That is minus half N2 d pi by dt. Okay, these are the things discussed too. So today we are going to discuss EMF equation of a transformer here. EMF equation of a transformer. Okay, as we know that the transformer is works on the principle of Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction or mutual induction here. So according to principle, when the input voltage is applied to the primary winding, so there is a input current, that current which is flows to the winding, primary winding. So this current which produces the what about your magnetic force. So for electro domain it is called as a electromotive force. For magnetic domain it is called as a magnetic force, which used to, so which drives the flux in the primary and as well as secondary. So when this flux which links with the primary winding and EMF gets induced in the primary, and similarly when this flux which links with the secondary winding and The another EMF is induced in the secondary, so there is E2. So here, just I am drawing. This is load. This is the primary. Okay, here generally we have the primary is nothing but sinusoidal symbol. So a alternating voltage, this is the alternating voltage. There is AC supply 50 edges here. So first of all, I am considering here. So in order to get the EMF equation of a transformer, that is single phase transformer, so we have to take the number of turns. The number of turns on primary. Here, the number of turns on secondary. Otherwise, it get right. Just a bit. Okay, here N1. So the number of turns in secondary N2, and let us the pi m. Oh, this is some core iron. This is generally we have air core transformer and iron core transformer. So the air core transformer which is used for more than 25 K edges frequency, and for iron core transformer there is less than 25 K. Most prefer the iron core. There is a iron core transformer, and the soft iron core transformer also we preferred here. This is a flux. So this is the maximum flux. That's the maximum flux in the core in webers. Oh, this is the voltage here. There is a 230 voltage. So this is like primary. Oh, this one is secondary. Secondary winding. Primary winding and secondary winding. Okay. So this is the maximum. This is the maximum flux in the core in webers. Next, so that generally we have the transformer. We have that cross-sectional area. This is the maximum flux density. So this is the L and B will take place here. There is L and B will take place. This is like cross-sectional area. So it should be represented by A. So this total flux density. Suppose here, here these are all. This is the flux. This total density, that is the flux. This is the maximum flux density. Okay, that is what happened here. So generally the flux density is nothing but the maximum flux density, which is equal to maximum flux by cross-sectional area. This maximum flux by cross-sectional area. Cross-sectional area here. Okay. Oh, this is the max. So this is the maximum flux density. This is the cross-sectional area. Oh, this is the maximum flux. Oh, this is the maximum flux here. So this is the maximum flux. Oh, this is the cross-sectional area here. So the flux will be there, and this flux by areas. This is the total flux density will take place here. Oh, this is the frequency. We are taking here the frequency is 50 Hz for supply side. Frequency of AC input in edges. In order to get the EMF equation of a transformer, we have to know all these parameters. Okay. So as shown figure, flux increases from its zero value to maximum value. So the flux increases from zero value to maximum value. Let us see. So zero value to maximum value here. So first of all, how to get this value here? Suppose as alternating voltage or as input voltage is applied to the primary winding, So this is the primary winding. So as input voltage is applied to the primary winding, a sinusoidal flux, because you are giving the sinusoidal. So sinusoidal voltage is applied to the primary. Sinusoidal or alternating voltage, alternating voltage is applied to the primary winding. A sinusoidal flux is, a sinusoidal flux will be, a sinusoidal flux, so this flux, a sinusoidal flux will be set up in the core, 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 which links with the both primary, which links with the both primary and secondary windings. So what I am saying, just listen carefully. Padma Pujita and Chaitanya, every time you are doing same thing here, you should maintain the time first of all. I am saying Padma Pujita and what about 2 times Chaitanya? Please don't interfere the class in middle of the session. Don't disturb the class. If you are interested, you just join the class, be in time. So next time onwards, I want to allow only suppose if the class will be 10 o'clock, that's 10:10. So at 10:10, so I will close that. I will lock that session. After 10:10, I won't allow this class. Please try to maintain the time. Okay. So here a alternating voltage or sinusoidal voltage is applied to the primary winding. Is applied to the primary winding. A sinusoidal flux will be set up in the core, which is set up in the core here. So a sinusoidal flux which is set up in the core, which links with the both primary and secondary winding, which links with the both primary and secondary winding. Okay, just see. So when you, so first of all, so suppose if you not given this this voltage, so what happened here? There is no current flowing through the winding. So what happened here? So there is no current flowing through the winding, means there is no flux will be present here. First of all, if you are given this voltage, then the current starts flowing in that primary winding. So this current which produces the flux here. So then this is the exciting current. This current which is going through the winding, it should be, the winding should be excited, and it has to produce the flux here. So the flux, what type of flux? This is the sinusoidal flux. So this is the sinusoidal flux here. But you are giving that sinusoidal voltage. But initially the flux will here 0. So because what here? So flux is 0 means there is no applied voltage, there is no alternate voltage to that primary winding. Okay, then when you are given this alternate voltage to the primary winding, the flux value has to be increases like that here. Then you can get this maximum value of flux. This maximum value of flux here. So after given the alternating voltage to the primary winding, the current which is flows through the primary winding, then the flux has to be set up in the core. So this flux which links with the primary and secondary winding as well. So let us see. As shown figure, flux increases from its 0 value to the maximum value. So flux increases from its 0 value to the maximum value pi m in quarter of the cycle here. In quarter of the cycle here. That is at 90 degrees otherwise. So at 90 degrees, then you can get maximum value of flux here of the cycle. This is like one cycle. Okay. So that is in 1/4 of f frequency. Otherwise, you can take the flux changes from. Otherwise, instead of this point here, the flux there. So here, when you are given the alternating voltage to the primary winding, a alternating or sinusoidal flux will be set up in the core, which links with the primary and secondary windings like that. So hence the flux changes from plus pi m to, so you can see the flux, this is the plus pi m, this is minus pi m. So then flux changes from plus pi m to minus pi m in half of the cycle. You can see half of the cycle. Therefore, the average rate of therefore the average rate of flux, therefore the average rate of flux here, therefore the average rate of flux, therefore the average rate of flux here, that is plus pi m minus of minus pi m, plus pi m minus of minus pi m by what about 1 by 2f here. Just of taking, so flux changes from plus pi m to minus pi m, that is what about plus pi m, you can get this value. So minus pi m, this you can get this value. Plus pi m to minus pi m in half of the cycle. Half of means what about, you have to consider only half. So you have to consider this is half of the cycle here. So otherwise you can take this is half of the cycle. This is 1. So this is what about here, 1 by 2f. So 1 by 4th means quarter of cycle. That is what you get here. So plus pi m to minus pi m. That is here what you get here. So 2 pi m by 1 by 2f. That is 2f here. So this is what about here, 4f pi m. Otherwise you can take this one also. You can take this also. Okay, but here no need to take this one. So you can take this one also. Okay. Okay. So as shown figure, the flux increases from its zero value to maximum value. With zero value to the maximum value here. This is pi m. Value pi m in the quarter of the cycle. Just I am going to take quarter of the cycle in. There is 1 by 4 of frequency. There is 1 by 4th of frequency. Because at this point you are getting maximum value of flux. That's right. At this point means you have to take this one here after this. So after this you can get 1 by 4th of frequency. So thereby then you can get what about here. So the average rate of flux. So the average rate of flux. So the average rate of change of flux is nothing but what about here. There is pi m by 1 by 4th of f here. There is pi m by, so this pi m by 1 by 4th of frequency. So there is 4 into f into pi m in Weber per seconds. In Weber per seconds or volt. Weber per seconds or volt here. So after that, now rate of change of flux per ton means induced EMF in volts. Now rate of change of flux per ton means induced EMF per volts. Let us take this one. What I am saying, so first of all, as the sinusoidal voltage is applied to the primary winding, a sinusoidal flux is will be set up in the core which links with the both primary and secondary windings. So this sinusoidal flux. So as shown figure, the flux changes from its zero value to a maximum value. That is what about, this is the maximum value. In quarter of the cycle, that is in 1 by 4th of frequency seconds. So average rate of change of flux equal to pi m by 1 by 4 f. That is 4 into f pi m Weber per seconds or volt here. Now rate of change of flux per ton means induced EMF in volts. Induced EMF in volts here. Now rate of change of flux per ton means induced EMF in volts here. Then you can see. So average EMF per so average EMF per ton. So that is what about here. So average EMF per ton, that is 4 into, that is 4 into FIM in volts. 4 into FIM in volts here. So here you can see. So if flux varies sinusoidally, in sinusoidally, Then RMS value of induced EMF is obtained by multiplying the average value with form factor. Multiply average value with form factor. Then form factor which is equal to RMS value by average value. That is equal to what here 1.1. But the average EMF per turn equal to what here 4 F pi m. 4 F pi m. So the average value of induced EMF per turn that is equal to what here 4 F pi 4 F pi m in volts. So there is what about here? From that the RMS value equal to the RMS value of EMF which is equal to average value into 1.11. So what about the average value? This 4 F pi m into 1.11. 1.11. Then you can get 4.44 F pi m. So the RMS value of EM per turn equal to what here? 1.11 into 4 F pi m. There is 4.44 F pi m volts here. Okay. So RMS value of EM per turn that is equal to 1.11 4 F pi m that is equal to 4.44 F pi m in volts. In volts here. Okay. Vamshi, this is last and final. Be in time. Okay. If you attend if you attend that late, I won't allow the class. Please try to. So because while I'm explaining some concept, so much of students joining the middle of the session, so much of disturbance will be going on from my side as well as your side also. So please try to maintain the time. Vamshi, this is last and final. So RMS value of EM per turn that is equal to here so this is what about so RMS value of EM per turn that is equal to 1.11 into 4 F pi m that is equal to 4.44 F pi m in volts. Okay. But I have to consider with respect to number of turns, primary as well as secondary. So now RMS value of induced EMF in the whole of primary winding, there is what about induced EMF per turn into number of turns, there is what about here, there is 4.44 F pi m into number of primary turns, there is what about here 4.44 F pi m into N1, that is what this is the E1. So similarly for E2, there is 4.44 F pi m into N2. That's what about here 4.44 F pi m N2. So here there is a E1 by here from this first one and second one. There is E1 by N1 which is equal to and E2 by N2. There is EM per turns. There is equal to here the same thing here. So this one here there is constant. There is 4.4 by here. Then you can get this one. So this is nothing but voltage transmission ratio. Otherwise, you can take E2 by E1 from this. N2 by N1 that is equal to K. So where E2 or N2, E2 greater than or N2 greater than N1, then the K greater than 1, so it is said to be step up transformer. And E2 less than 1 E1 or N2 less than N1, there is K less than 1, there is said to be step down transformer here. So let us see what you are getting. Here you can see there is E1 equal to 4.44 F pi N1. That is what about here pi m is nothing but Bm into A. Bm into A here. Similarly, RMS value of induced EMF in the secondary is E2 equal to 4.44 F into pi 2 pi m. There is 4.4. There is 4.44 F into BMJ here. So from 192, then you can get some relation. So it is seen from 192 that E1 by N1 that is equal to E2 by N2 that is equal to 4.44 F pi m. So that is equal to 4.44 F pi m here. So this is the third equation. There is you can see it means that EMF turns, there is EMF turns is the same. It means that EMF turns is the same in both primary and secondary windings. It means that EMF turns is the same in both. There is EMF turn. There is EMF turn is the same in both primary and secondary winding. There is same for this is same equation. So with respect to primary there is EMF turn, and with respect to secondary EMF turn there is the same here. Same equation. Okay. So in the case of ideal transformer, in an ideal transformer on no load V1 equal to, so this is an ideal transformer. Generally the ideal transformer means what about, so the lossless transformer, like there is no windings, there is no leakage flux, there is no there is the permeability of the core is infinity, and what about here, there is no losses, so thereby the efficiency is 100%. So the ideal transformer the efficiency is what about here, the ideal transformer the efficiency is 100% compared to practical transformer. So the practical transformer the efficiency is 95 to 98%. But the ideal transformer the efficiency is 100% here because there is no losses. So there is ideal means, what is the difference between ideal and practical? There is a different case. I will tell you later the difference between ideal and practical. Okay. So in an ideal transformer on no load, V1 equal to E1 and V2 equal to E2, where V2 is the secondary terminal voltage. This V2 is the secondary terminal voltage. In an ideal transformer on no load, V1 equal to E1 and V2 equal to E2, where V2 is the secondary terminal voltage here. Okay. So by the way, have you understood this EMF equation of transformer, dear friends? Dear students, oh, this is the EMF equation of transformer with respect to primary. This is the EMF equation of transformer with respect to secondary. Have you understood or not? Dear students, please anyone response. Okay, thank you Venkat Sai. This is voltage transmission ratio. Oh, this is also most important for complex examinations. Voltage transmission ratio. From above equation, there is what about this equation? This equation. From above equation, we get E2 by E1 equal to N2 by N1. There is 4.44 F by M. There is a quarter K. Already I discussed with you. So there is K. From that, this constant K is known as voltage transformation ratio. Voltage transformation ratio. Voltage transformation ratio. So here, whether V2, that is if when E2 greater than E1, there is N2 greater than N1, there is what here, K greater than 1, that type of transformer is said to be step-up transformer. Similarly, if E1, there is E2 less than E1, there is N2 less than N1, so that K less than 1, so that the type of transformer is said to be step-down transformer. Suppose E2 equal to E1, N2 equal to N1, there is K equal to 1, so that the type of transformer is said to be isolation transformer. Isolation transformer. So these are the things we have discussed in earlier classes. Okay. But I want to tell you, if N2 greater than N1, what about here? There is E2 also greater than E1. that is K greater than 1, then transformer. So this generally here also this is common, I think. Okay, because if I send some PPT, you may get some doubts. Okay. So then transformer is called a step-up transformer. The step-up transformer. Step-up transformer here. And you can see if N2 less than N1, there is K less than 1. There is N2 less than means E2 less than E1. Then transformer is called a step-down transformer. Transformer is called step-down transformer. So suppose if that point is not written here, if N2 equal to N1. If N2 equal to N1, there is generally we always 1:1. So there is K equal to 1, then the transformer is said to be, then the transformer is called isolation transformer. Isolation transformer. That point you have to remember. Okay. Next. Again for an ideal transformer, input to, there is what about, there is input to VA, there is equal to output VA. So the input power which is equal to, for ideal transformer, that is output power. Output power. That is what about here, V into V1, just wait. That is V1, I1, here V2, I2. So there is V1 into, here V2 into I2. So from that you can get this one. This one. So from that you can get I2 by I1, V1 by V2, N1 by N2, 1 by K. Otherwise, here you can write E2 by E1, N2 by N1, I1 by I2, that is equal to K. So this is the most important relation for probability pointer. Please all of you note this one, E2 by E1. Just wait, I am going to erase it. That is E2 by E1, N2 by N1, that is equal to I1 by I2 equal to K. Okay. So why in ideal transformer there is input power equal to output power here? Because the power factor is also same here. The cos by 1 which is equal to cos by 2. Generally we have V1 I1 into cos by, V2 I2 into cos by 2. But here there is no power factor, so there is a equal power factor there, because ideal transformer there is no power factors like. So there is no leakage flux, there is no windings. So there is no windings means there is no losses, copper losses. So there is no iron losses. So only the permeability of the core is, there is the permeability is infinity. That's why. So it is compared to the core here. So that if the permeability is infinity, so the flux moves in any direction here. The flux moves in any direction like that. Okay. Have you understood these all points, dear students? There is voltage transformation ratio. Okay, thank you, Venkat Sai. So coming to, I want to tell you. So from voltage transformer ratio, we have step-up transformer, step-down transformer based on the windings. So here, Generally we have, this is the most important point here. Then E1 equal to, otherwise E1 equal to 4.44 F pi M into N1. Otherwise that E equal to, just I mention with here E equal to. So from that, here E is nothing but here 4.44 F into N into pi M is nothing but Bm into A. Bm into A here. Bm into A. So generally the pi M, so since pi M equal to Bm into A. Generally in that A, that what type of A here? This is the net. This is the net cross-sectional area. Net cross-sectional area. Net cross-sectional area. From that I can write you here that net cross-sectional area is nothing but the net cross-sectional area. The net cross-sectional area is nothing but Ag. There is the gross cross-sectional area to stacking factor. Generally, the case is nothing but net cross-sectional area by gross cross-sectional area. Gross cross-sectional area. Generally, the stacking factor will be 0.5 to 0.95 value. 0.95 for CRGO steel. Generally, the steel will be, generally we prefer the silicon steel, but we prefer the CRGO. There is cold rolled grain oriented steel here. So there is Ks equal, this is the stacking pattern, where Ks is nothing but stacking pattern. Stacking pattern. But what about the Ag here? The Ag is nothing but L into B. Suppose if you take this transformer, so in that what about here? The Ag equal to L into B. So this is the L, this is the B. Like that. So this Ag is nothing but this is the gross cross-sectional area. Gross cross-sectional area. Sectional area. So net is, so this is the net cross-sectional area. Net cross-sectional area. Net cross-sectional area. So what is the difference between the gross cross-sectional area and net cross-sectional area? Anybody in the class? Anybody? Just wait, I'm going to stop this video because so generally we have that is what about here gross cross-sectional area, and generally we have the E equal to 4.44 F pi M into N, but E equal to 4.44 F N B M into A. Okay, but that A is nothing but here the pi M equal to B M into A net cross-sectional area. Suppose if you are having that is this is the transformer core. So the transformer core generally made up of thin strips called laminations. So here, so these are all like So in the transformer we have that insulating material will be there. This is insulating material. So this is the insulating material here. Insulating material. So the insulating material between the laminations, so required for electrical isolation. So in order to reduce the, so this is the insulating material here. So these are the laminations between insulating material. Insulating material here. So what I am saying here, generally this is the net. So the stacking factor is represented by the stacking factor, that is K is equal to, so the net cross sectional area, the net cross sectional area by gross cross sectional area. What about the gross cross sectional area? So the net cross sectional area is nothing but the area occupied by the, so the area occupied by only many. So first of all we will discuss the gross cross sectional area. So this is the area. So this is the total area. The area occupied by the area occupied by the manure material. This is the manure material. This is the manure material. The area occupied by the manure material plus insulating material. Area occupied by the magnetic material plus what about insulating material? Insulating material here. But coming to net cross sectional area, the area occupied, so the area occupied with the manure material plus the red color is nothing but the insulated material. This is nothing but what about here? So this is the gross cross sectional area. But coming to net cross sectional area, the area occupied by the only manure material, not insulating material. Area occupied